Attention passionate Atlanta, Falcons fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC South and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Atlanta Falcons' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Atlanta Falcons fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Atlanta, Falcons fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you've been paying attention to the NFL news cycle lately, you've probably heard whispers about some intriguing developments in the NFC South. And I'm telling you, what's happening could shake up the entire division. The Atlanta Falcons, a team that's been steadily building and improving over the last couple of seasons, might be on the verge of making a move that could redefine their defensive line for years to come. And that move, according to early reports and rumors, involves none other than Christian Wilkins. Yeah, you heard right. Christian Wilkins, the veteran defensive tackle who's been making waves in the league, could very well be headed to Atlanta. Now, I know what you're thinking. Wait, Wilkins. Isn't he still a free agent? Well, that's the big story here. After the surprising decision by the Las Vegas Raiders to release Wilkins, the NFL buzz has been non-stop. It's a shocking turn of events considering Wilkins' recent performance, his reputation, and the fact that the Raiders had just handed him a massive 4-year deal worth $110 million with $5 million guaranteed just last season. That kind of investment shows how highly they valued him, and yet here we are talking about his release, which has sent shockwaves through the league. So what exactly happened? Well, reports suggest that the split between Wilkins and the Raiders stemmed largely from disagreements over his foot injury. Wilkins, who dealt with injuries during the 2024 season, struggled with health issues that limited him to only 5 games last year. Despite his limited playing time, he managed to rack up 17 total tackles, 2 sacks, and 2 tackles for loss. Not bad, considering the circumstances. But the injury apparently was a sore point, and it created a rift between him and the team management. The Raiders, known for their meticulous approach to player health and roster management, decided that releasing Wilkins was the best move, even though it came as a surprise to many around the league. Now, with Wilkins as a free agent, the question is, who's going to take a chance on him? Because, let's be honest, talent like his doesn't just go unnoticed. Teams will see the potential, his ability to disrupt opposing offenses, to collapse the pocket, and to bring that relentless energy on the interior defensive line. Wilkins' last full season with the Miami Dolphins before he moved to Vegas was spectacular. In 2023, he posted 65 total tackles and 9 sacks, which is pretty impressive for a defensive tackle. That year really showcased his breakout potential and helped him earn that lucrative deal from the Raiders. But the injury last year paused his momentum. Still, the talent is undeniable. When healthy, Wilkins is a game-changer. His size, athleticism, and motor make him a nightmare for offensive lines. It's exactly the kind of player the Falcons, who have been trying to bolster their defensive front, would love to add. And here's the thing. Atlanta has been actively seeking to improve their interior defense all offseason. They want to be tougher against the run, more disruptive in the pass rush, and just overall more intimidating on defense. Wilkins could fit perfectly into that puzzle. And let's not forget, the Falcons had shown interest in Wilkins last offseason. Reports indicated they were quite keen on bringing him in, but the Raiders swooped in with a higher offer, and Wilkins ended up signing there. Now, with him available once again, it's a real possibility that Atlanta could revisit their interest. Imagine Wilkins lining up next to guys like Grady Jarrett, creating chaos up front, and making life miserable for quarterbacks in the NFC South and beyond. His presence alone could elevate the entire unit. Plus, even if he doesn't start right away, having him in the rotation down the stretch could be a huge advantage. It's all about adding depth, creating competition, and giving the Falcons a chance to be even more formidable on defense. But what makes this situation even more interesting is the financial aspect. Wilkins received a hefty guarantee last year, which means he's financially secure, and teams know what they're getting with him: potential, talent, and a proven track record of disruption. The Falcons, who are always looking to make smart investments, might see this as a low-risk, high-reward move. If Wilkins can bounce back from his injury and regain his form, the Falcons could have a steal on their hands. And let's be honest, in today's NFL, interior defensive linemen who can rush the passer and stop the run are worth their weight in gold. Wilkins, when healthy, is exactly that kind of player. Now, I know some of you might wonder, where would Wilkins fit best? And is he really the missing piece for Atlanta? Well, based on what we know, the Falcons are aiming to be a playoff team this year. They've been building the roster carefully, adding pieces on both sides of the ball, and trying to find that perfect balance of talent and chemistry. Wilkins could be that extra piece that pushes them over the top. His ability to command double teams and occupy blockers opens up opportunities for other players like Grady Jarrett to wreak havoc. And for a team that's been strategic in their approach, bringing in a veteran like Wilkins could be exactly what they need to take that next step and push for a deep playoff run. And for Wilkins himself, Atlanta could be a perfect landing spot. The team's defensive scheme aligns well with his skill set, and the coaching staff has a good track record of developing linemen and maximizing their talents. Plus, the culture in Atlanta is one that values toughness, grit, and resilience, traits Wilkins has in spades. If he can stay healthy, there's every reason to believe he could be a game changer for the Falcons, especially in a division as competitive as the NFC South. The Saints, Buccaneers, and Panthers are all improving, and Atlanta knows that strengthening their defense is key to staying ahead. Adding Wilkins could tip the scales in their favor. Of course, there are still questions. Will Wilkins want to come to Atlanta? Is he fully recovered from his foot injury? And what will the contract look like? These are all things we'll be watching closely. But the fact remains, the possibility of Wilkins donning the Falcons' colors is something that's generating a lot of buzz. It's a move that could be a game changer, a strategic acquisition that aligns with their goal of returning to the postseason and making a real splash. And you, as fans, should be excited about the potential of seeing Wilkins terrorize quarterbacks in the NFC South once again. Now remember, this is all still in the rumor mill, but the signs point towards a very real possibility. The Falcons are known for their smart moves and willingness to take chances on talented players who might be overlooked due to injury or other concerns. And in this case, Wilkins' talent and experience could be just what the doctor ordered for a team hungry for success. So keep your eyes peeled, because if this deal goes through, it's going to be a major headline and a huge boost for Atlanta's ambitions this season. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Atlanta Falcons news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Atlanta Falcons fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential signing? Do you think Christian Wilkins would be the perfect addition to bolster that defensive front? Or do you believe the team should focus elsewhere? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Falcons. Remember, this season is shaping up to be a pivotal one, and every piece of news, every signing, and every game counts. I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Atlanta Falcons news, because there's plenty more coming your way. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Falcons!